Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's check out Capcom Arcade Stadium on xbsx. Although technically this is just the regular Xbox One game. Okay, so we have played every single game on this collection on the Nintendo Switch, which was released previously. But it is now finally available for the other platforms on the PlayStation and the Xbox, and so we're going to check it out here on the Xbox. Okay, sure. Yeah, thanks. Great. Just like with the initial run of the premiere of the game on the Switch, we'll just go through every game just for a tiny little bit so you can see how it is. I really don't expect much other than this game collection running without the frame drops that we experienced on the Switch. But outside of that, I expect everything else to be the same. So yeah, let's start from the top. Okay, I think these are all per game, or potentially per game. Yeah, we're all the way in there. You can look at the game manual if you really want to. It's 1943. It's shoot and die. Those are your two. Those are your two options. Okay, let's go ahead and set our display. Yeah, I don't really like the D-pad on the Xbox Series X controller, but we'll put up with it. Look at those fluffy clouds, like the marshmallows in the sky. Again, we're not experiencing the frame skips that we experience occasionally, at least in some games, and some games frequently, as we did like on the Switch version. So a little bit extra power obviously makes a big difference. And I don't know if Capcom has gone back to update the game on the Switch to sort of address those frame skipping issues. Let's see if that's the case. And, maybe if the frame skipping was fixed, then all of this really doesn't matter and they'd all perform the same. But for right now, we're already getting better performance out of 1953 than we did on the Switch platform. But, largely the same visuals, which makes sense. All they are is upscaling the arcade originals. We're not doing anything fancy with them. But yeah, I mean, that one looks good. Alright, what's next on the list here? Oh, he's gotta tell us so much stuff. It's so important! Does I have to check my add-ons for every single time I start a game? That's weird. Are you sure about this? Yes, I'm pretty sure. Could you please leave me alone now? I absolutely love this game. Such a unique control scheme too. Although they've done a good job in replacing the you know, the rotary controller with using the right stick. I think that's about as good as it gets. Although let's change the control to actually do that. As it is, shoot as A. No, thank you. I don't want to do it that way. Let's see. What's the dual stick way? Yeah, if we make shoot the right button, then that should fix our problem. There we go. Much better. Now it's basically a dual stick shooter. Just with a side view. I guess it doesn't matter. We're not going to be playing like real seriously here. I just want to see how the performance shapes up. Ah, darn it. Oh, it's interesting. That resets my position if I move the left stick. Like, see how I'm holding down here, and if I move the left stick, oh, now it's doing it. I was not doing it. That's interesting. Let's say as soon as I moved my firing position and went to the forward position, or the easternmost position. It doesn't seem to be doing it now. Kind of odd. Like how these cutscenes make absolutely no sense. I mean, they do. I'm sure somebody in their head had a nice, awesome storyline that made sense, but it doesn't translate very well into the arcade unit. Ah, yes. Ghouls and ghosts. I'm happy I finally beat this game on the Switch Capcom Arcade Stadium. but I probably won't ever do it again. I mean, I don't love the game enough to want to try it again. No, damn it. I definitely don't want that. What did we determine? I think we determined that it was only this game and Ultimate Ghouls and Ghosts on PSP where you could shoot up. Like all the other games, you can't shoot up. And really, the thing I remember most about the PSP version is that it was the worst one of these games. I mean, it's still a pretty good game, better than most action games, but as far as like the Ghouls and Ghosts, you know, series of games, or the Ghosts and Goblins series of games, it wasn't as good as even the first game, I thought, personally. Yeah, it's the infinite loop of vines. Again, nice and accurate. Can't perceive any frame skipping, so certainly a much better performer than it was on the Switch. Really? Do you have to check every single time I start a game? Are you serious? Oh, goodness. Definitely one of my favorite action games of all time. Strider number 1. Oh, ooh, they still messed up on that opening sound. Wow. I guess it's just inherent in the emulation. That's a little disappointing that they didn't go back and fix that sound. It should be the spring sound, the little boing boing sound. You know, I may have played this game once or twice. I said in the old days I could actually one credit this game. I mean, not anymore. I don't think I could handle that anymore. Alright, outside of that one opening sound effect, boy. Yeah, great, thanks. Alright, Dynasty Wars. You wanna die clean, you gotta die nasty. If you want to lead a full life, that is.
Let's select players. I am taking the field. Chang Fei.
I know, it's interesting. It's the era of the smaller character beat 'em up action game. Later on, when when they started making more of these, I mean, the characters got like enormous. Here they're moderately sized. Yeah, I really don't like this game as much as a lot of the other games in the collection. Although it's not necessarily because it's a bad game. It's just that there's like not that much variety. So you can kind of feel yourself getting bored of it fairly early on in the game. All of that being said, I mean, there's actually a lot to it. There's a fair number of levels, and it's pretty challenging. I just don't think it's as fun as the other games that they made later on down the road. You don't walk right into the sword guys and you'll do a little bit better. Yeah, it's just some life advice. Ooh boy, I won't even live to see the end of the first level on this one. Yeah, it's a tough game. It's definitely a tough game. I just don't think it's all that fun. I mean, I sort of put it on the same level as Magic Sword, and then it's sort of a trudge through the game after a while. Oh yes, Final Fight. I think I'll always love Final Fight. Almost as much as pizza. I mean, maybe I shouldn't go that far. Maybe as much as, spaghetti bolognese. Maybe that much. Oh, so rude to point game. Wait, why do you drop your pipe? Can it not fit through the door? Is that why? Makes no sense. Then just pick another one. Ooh, she's got some fancy moves. Kapah! Alright, you get the idea. Again, these games basically run perfectly without all of the frame drops that we experienced on the Switch version. So certainly, if you have a system other than the Switch, PlayStation 4 or an Xbox, then this is probably the version that you want to buy. But if you only have a Switch, you're still getting the games and they still play well enough. Just a little annoying on the frame dropping on that system. Again, I hope they fix it someday. They really should. Yeah, I think I really only dislike maybe one or two of these games that they have on this collection. I mean, it's a pretty solid collection of games. And considering the number of games that ever got a perfect port for home consoles up until him, or some of these games never even got a home console version. It's nice to play the arcade versions instead of just reliving NES memories. Although in some cases, games like this actually ended up being better on the NES, but certainly not, technology-wise. They're definitely much harder to look at. Yeah, the game's kind of a jerk face about throwing enemies behind you. Mouth like I'm playing modern day. Ooh, boy. Hard to survive. And then Mercs. Except not with the name Mercs. Remember, there's some problem with like copyrights on the Mercs. I imagine that's true. I imagine that there's some other Mercs game out there where oh, that's right, I had to switch it. What was it again? Yeah, I mean, it won't even attempt to switch it for you. You must switch it yourself to play the Japanese versions. So funny. You know, interesting, as a sequel to Commando, I mean, it's a pretty significant upgrade going from Commando to this game. So this game feels shorter, but mainly because there was a lot of repeating levels in the original game. Oh, Richard Keegan? Yeah, hello. Sorry, I don't have like an easy chat monitoring, or an easy way to monitor chat with my setup. I have a very basic setup. Just like me, a very basic person. But I do let people know that in the description. And I do simulcast on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Gaming all at the same time, so that's why it's a little bit harder for me to pick out chat. But I don't love everyone, because, well, that'd be kind of weird for a stranger to tell you that, wouldn't it? I think it would be weird. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, God. Alright, yeah, runs good. I mean, I do wish that maybe at some point in time they could get the rights to the North American ROM, but you know, I understand the core of the game is still the same. It's just the language is different. But you know, really, they didn't make many changes between Mercs and the original title, which I can't pronounce. Or I mean, I could pronounce it. I just don't know. I don't know how to translate that to romanization. Yeah, I really like this game. To me, it reminds me a lot of Blues Journey on Neo Geo. But maybe a more accurate description of this game, it's closer to like Wonder Boy. I get those evil peas. Those evil legumes. Giving you gas. Those dastardly things. No, it's tough because it's the doesn't take many hits to get you. Thankfully, it's not a one-hit death game, but it's pretty close to it. All right, let's hit another game here. I know we've got a lot to go through. It's the only reason why I'm not spending like a lot of time on this. And I've gone through every single game in depth on the Switch. All right, Carrier Airwing, the sequel to UN Squadron, as we knew it in the States or North America, but the rest of the world knew it as Area 88. You know, sort of based on the manga and the anime, which is why I imagine is the reason why it's not here for licensing issues. That would be my guess. But thankfully, the sequel is just as good, if not better, than the original Area 88. This was one of those games where I never thought I'd be able to play this outside of emulation. I never thought they'd re-release this in any form. So I'm really glad that it's a game they included in this collection. You know, we never got a home version on the major consoles, even though UN Squadron did make an appearance, you know, in the original game, Area 88, on the Super Nintendo. But yeah, we never got around to making this game. I don't know if it's for technical, you know, tech reasons or what. But again, glad I'm playing it. The massive, you know, frame skipping, you know, frame drops as the Switch version. At least at launch. Again, I don't know if they patched that or not. Now, for me, I played a lot of this game at the Nickel Arcade. It was the only time I'd ever seen the game, real cabinet. Oh. I don't think I do that badly. Oh well, it has been a while since we played it. Class 3, the original World Warrior. Yeah, I'm still not super big into Street Fighter versus King of the Fighters, but Street Fighter is the series that's still alive. Well, I guess they did release another King of the Fighters, so that's probably not 100% true. And I think, unfortunately, these are the earlier versions of Street Fighter, so they're not like the last revision that was sent out to arcades, which is kind of a shame because, you know, some of the bugs are still present as well, you know, which they did address in later versions. Oh gosh, I don't even remember how they map these controls. I have no idea. I don't know why I'm picking Guile. I like him, but he's a charge character and was never all that fond of charge characters. Although they are super effective if you have a joystick, so I mean, it's just a little tougher on a gamepad. At least I think so. I don't know. Maybe people feel differently about that. Oh, wrong button. Oh, maybe it's my imagination, but I sort of feel like the sound quality is a little bit better too. I don't know. I'd have to go back and play the other game, or play the Switch version again. It seems like it just sounds just a tiny bit better. And that just may be the nature of the Xbox just having better audio. Just period. With the Switch being limited in its fidelity. Maybe that's just it. Oh yes, Captain Commando. Not my favorite, but I've kind of grown to like it over the years. Oh, they didn't censor it. They kept in the smoking enemies. That's great. I think it was censored for the Super Nintendo version, though. Okay, I'm almost interrupted. Let me take this call real fast, and I'll be right back.